What if GTA 6 was the last GTA game that we ever got? Now, I know what you're thinking. We haven't even gotten to GTA 6 yet, and I'm already talking about what comes after. But just hear me out. I think it's all relevant as we are now less than 11 months from launch. So, with the direction that the video game industry is heading in, with everything being live service, or at least, trending in that direction, what if Rockstar just kept adding the GTA 6 without actually ever releasing another standalone title? So that's the core of what we're going to be talking about in this video. We're going to break it all down, and I promise I have some valid reasons, so just stick around until the end. Just hear me out. Let's start with what we already know. GTA 6 is going to be colossal. Like, there's no way around it. That's the best word to probably describe it. Sources like IGN and others have estimated its development costs at over $1 billion, and even some suggest that it's closer to $2 billion over the entire course of development, which is absolutely ridiculous. That is very easily the highest budget a video game has ever had, and one of the highest budgets that any piece of entertainment media has ever had also. That includes movies, TV shows, things of that nature. Like, this is going to be the most insane piece of media we've ever had as a human species. You know what I mean? The sheer magnitude of that investment is just unheard of. I mean, even budgets like Red Dead Redemption 2 that, was in that $200-300 million range, even that is considered a very large budget, and GTA 6 is in the $1 to $2 billion range. So GTA 6 is just setting a whole new benchmark, and that's something that we already knew. This translates to very high cost barriers. You have a game this huge that requires thousands of developers and revolutionary technology investments and global marketing and a whole lot more that goes into it, but these are just some of the major factors that are contributing to these costs. GTA 4 had over 1,000 people working across studios for years. GTA 5 followed the same model, and then they pivoted to shift resources to GTA Online, which effectively turned a single-player game into a long-term live service game. Which brings us to the second point and the major point of my argument: live service evolution. Rockstar isn't thinking like publishers were in 2010. With GTA Online, they realized you don't need to launch GTA 7 to generate more revenue. You just update GTA Online with new features, missions, etc., and it's like their own little infinite money glitch. Considering GTA 6 is being built with modern architecture, online integration, talks of future expansions even before launch, which we're going to talk about more in a few seconds here, why would they deviate? Instead of a separate GTA 7, they could just add new states, new storylines, characters, gameplay loops, all via DLC or whatever it may be, patches, whatever. Just from screenshots and trailers alone, we already have potential hints of many other locations like Orlando, Cuba, and Georgia, so it just sounds like we have the makings of an endlessly growing world. Now let's go down the rabbit hole of Project Americas, which is the massive leak from years and years ago now that originally suggested a multi-protagonist story across multiple cities across the Americas. That original vision was so ambitious that if it were true to begin with, Rockstar eventually dialed it back to just the Vice City that we know of right now and some of those surrounding areas. But that code name still hints at the potential ambition to create more territory over time. So when those massive features just did not fit the current deadlines, timelines, budgets, Rockstar probably just cut the scale a little bit, and maybe we're gonna get it back via some kind of an expansion post-launch. Think about GTA Online. It started, relatively small after the GTA 5 launch, and then they added so many unique features, and now it's what we know of today. And each unique feature is almost like its own independent extension of the game, of GTA. Now imagine doing that with entirely new cities. Instead of GTA 7, you just have the Orlando and Georgia expansion, then you have the Liberty City expansion, then you have the San Andreas expansion, and then Cuba, etc. It just keeps going down the line, and it's all just falling under the GTA 6, title. That aligns perfectly with how Rockstar has executed for years. They release one massive technical base game, and then they grow it incrementally with player engagement. And it's cost effective because you already have the engine, the staff, the voice actors, you have the entire team, and the marginal cost for just an update or a patch or an expansion is much lower than building a whole new standalone game from scratch. Plus, if you thought GTA 5 added a lot of features post-launch, just wait until GTA 6, considering the engine that it's built on and the insane improvements that it looks like we're going to get with it. Now, speaking of, you have to factor in these rising development costs. I mean, layoffs across the entire industry these past few years just shows that publishers, cutting staff in these newer projects is because the costs, they just keep rising. They can't keep up with it. Mind's Eye is a great recent example. The GTA 6 competitor, their studio was hit with major layoffs, I think just like a week ago, because their costs were just way too high. Now, Rockstar is very different from Build a Rocket Boy, but it's definitely at least a bright yellow caution sign for Rockstar. So they're investing big now, but they don't want to burn that down by starting over again and again and again and so on. So it's better to invest once and then run the same, core game for a decade plus or whatever their timeline is. I mean, let's be real, that $1 to $2 billion cost is really not sustainable. They can't do that every 8 years and put out a new GTA game. It requires a very long tail. And if they're putting out new games, then people aren't going to be playing the previous games. GTA 5 earned nearly $10 billion in total revenue, and analysts expect GTA 6 to be even greater than that, to hit record figures. And the return on investment there is going to be insane regardless. No matter what they do, they are going to profit like there's no tomorrow. But with a live service project spread out over the next 10, 15 years, they could keep players engaged in one persistent world and then just monetize through updates and patches and cosmetic items or something. They could just be looking at something revolutionary for the industry here, and they would also be revolutionizing their own bottom line. Because consistently recurring revenue instead of peaks, every 5 to 10 years when a new standalone game comes out is kind of just a cheat code. There's also competitive pressure from other live service platforms like Fortnite. They push continual updates to keep relevance, and players expect new content, events, zones, skins, etc. I don't know, I haven't played Fortnite in a while. But if Rockstar released a standalone game, which we know they won't do entirely, there's going to be a GTA 6 online without a doubt, but they'd face, a year or however long they're going to wait, they'd face a drought while they're building that. And that's missed opportunity. But instead, with a unified platform, you can just roll out new features constantly and consistently. The last element I'll talk about here is audience psychology. GTA fans are comfortable with the live service environment to an extent because of GTA Online, which was a huge success. So moving GTA into a persistent live service would simply be an evolution of that, not necessarily a revolution. So I don't think the audience, the fans, would be caught off guard necessarily. I mean, could there be a GTA 7 in another decade from now? Of course there could. I'm just simply speculating here. But at what cost? Another $1 billion+ project? Another technical leap, an engine overhaul? Or will it just be easier to keep GTA 6 evolving until new technology demands it? The cadence of traditional standalone games getting released might be replaced by a platform-based model with live service capabilities. And I think that's something that will become the norm in video games over the next decade. And who else but Rockstar to bring that trend to the next level? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I'll try to reply to as many as I can and have a conversation with you guys. But besides for that, check out some of my other GTA 6 content. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.